In this module, you will learn how to create charts in Excel. After you complete this module, you will be able to create scatter and line charts in Excel and format Excel charts for technical presentation. The contents of this module assume that you are familiar with the Microsoft Excel 2013 interface, know how to get help in Excel 2013, and know how to work with data ranges in Excel. Data can be a very useful tool on its own, but charted data can be much more useful and much easier to understand. You can create many types of charts in Excel, including scatter charts, line charts, bar charts, and pie charts. This module will cover creating scatter charts and line charts in Excel. Let's quickly review the differences between scatter and line charts. Scatter charts are used to show experimental data, mathematical phenomena, or relationships among different data sets. They should be used when determining a mathematical model or extrapolating information beyond the limits of existing data. Line charts are used to display evenly spaced or sampled data, visualize time series data taken at even intervals, or display categorical data. Knowing the difference between these two charts is very important to successfully presenting data. Let's look at how to create the scatter chart shown here in Excel. In this example, we will create a chart showing the relationship between annual production at Subaru of Indiana and annual emissions of volatile organic compounds, or VOCs. The dataset we will use is shown here. Before we begin, let's verify that a scatter chart is the appropriate chart type for displaying this data. This dataset contains two sets of discrete values, annual production and annual VOC emissions. Because the chart will display the relationship between two datasets, a scatter chart is appropriate. In this example, the data is preloaded into Excel as shown here. To create the chart, select the cells containing the data we want to plot. Then select Insert. In the Charts group, select Scatter and select the first line chart shown. The default chart appears. If we look at this chart, we can see that this chart needs a few changes before it is suitable for technical presentation. If we look in the toolbar, we'll see we now have access to the chart tools. Using the chart tools, we can add a title to our chart, as well as add labels to the X and Y axes. Next, we remove the legend because it isn't needed on this chart. Because some of our data points are clustered together, we will reduce the size of the markers. To do this, right-click on the data series on the chart and select Format Data Series. Select Marker Options and reduce the marker size. Excel provides many additional formatting options, but at this point, our chart looks appropriate for technical presentation. Let's look at how to create the line chart shown here in Excel. In the example, we will create a chart showing the annual production of vehicles at Subaru of Indiana from 1999 to 2012. The dataset we will use is shown here. Before we begin, let's verify that a line chart is the appropriate chart type for displaying this data. This dataset contains the number of cars produced annually for consecutive years. Because the data is taken at even intervals, a line chart is appropriate. Let's now create our chart. The score required to meet this threshold is about 2075. In this example, the data is preloaded into Excel as shown here. To create the chart, select the cells containing the vehicle production data, then select Insert. In the Charts group, select Line and select the first line chart shown. The default chart appears. If we look at this chart, we can see that this chart needs a few changes before it is suitable for technical presentation. Let's look at the axes. The y-axis represents the annual vehicle production. However, the x-axis does not represent the years as we would like. To fix this, right-click on the chart and click Select Data. The Select Data Source window appears. To change the horizontal axis labels to years, we click Edit under Horizontal Axis Labels. We then select the labels for the horizontal axis from our data. Our x-axis now correctly shows the year. If we look in the toolbar, we'll see we now have access to the chart tools. Using the chart tools, we can add a title to our chart, add labels to x and y axes. Next, we remove the legend since it isn't needed on this chart. At this point, our chart looks appropriate for technical presentation, but there is one more change that is needed. Because our data consists of discrete elements, our data points should not be connected by a line. Instead, our data should be represented by points or markers. To change this, we right-click the chart and select Format Plot Area. We use the available options to remove the line and add markers. Excel provides many additional formatting options we could incorporate into our chart, but our chart is now suitable for technical presentation. Now that you've completed this module, you should be able to create scatter and line charts in Excel, format Excel charts for technical presentation. If you would like to download the datasets used in this module to practice making charts on your own, click the Download button. Click the Continue button to continue with this module. This module covers only some of the concepts on the topic. For additional information, refer to the other available sources. Also, remember that you can view this module at any time and as many times as you desire.